Good morning, student. This is the ninth lecture of petroleum refinery and petrochemicals. So today we will discuss the second thermal cracking process, which is the visbreaking process. In the last class, I've discussed the coking process, the different types of coking process, the different types of cokes which are formed during the process, which are the delayed coking, feed coking, flexi coking. Okay, and today we will discuss the visbreaking process. Okay, so i- the visbreaking means, as we know that the means the hydrocarbon, when is heated at its sufficiently high temperature, then the thermal cracking occurs. Okay, when the hydrocarbon is heated at sufficiently high temperature, then only the thermal cracking occurs. Now sometimes it is referred as a pyrolysis when the coal is used as a feedstock. Okay, when the coal is used as a feedstock, then that thermal cracking process sometimes referred as a pyrolysis, where the high temperature is needed for that cracking process. And when steam is used, it is called the steam cracking process. Okay, so there are two types, coking and visbreaking, as I've discussed in the last class. So today we will discuss the visbreaking process. Now this visbreaking is a relatively mild thermal cracking operation, which is mainly used to reduce the viscosities and the pour points of vacuum tower bottoms. Okay, so this is a mild thermal cracking process which is carried out to reduce the viscosities and pour points of atmospheric and vacuum tower bottoms. So what is the objective of this visbreaking process? So the major objective is to produce a fuel oil stock of improved viscosity characteristics. So objective of visbreaking is to produce a fuel oil stock of improved viscosity characteristics. Now visbreaking products yields are dependent upon the reaction temperature and the residence time. Okay, so these visbreaking products yields are dependent upon the two parameters, which are the reaction temperature and the residence time. Now these visbreaking typical products yields, which includes light gases, naphtha or the gasoline, gas oil and residue, which is the main product. Okay, so here we can see in this table that the gases which are having the C4 minus, weight percentage of charge is 2 to 4, and the naphtha having the carbon atom 5, and temperature is around 330 degree Fahrenheit, and the weight percent of charge is 5 to 7, where the gas oil is 330 to 660 degree Fahrenheit, and weight percent of charge is 10 to 15%, and tar is 660 degree Fahrenheit and having weight percent of charge 75 to 85. Okay, so more the molecular weight, we have the more weight percent of charge. Okay, and the more temperature is needed for fraction of these products. Now this gas oil fraction produced by visbreaking is also used. Whatever this gas oil is produced from this visbreaking process is also used to increase the catalytic cracker feedstocks. Okay, is also used to increase a catalytic cracker feedstock and increase gasoline yields. Okay, and increase the gasoline yields. Now what happened in visbreaking process, the long paraffinic side chains, okay, long paraffinic side chains which is attached to the aromatic rings are the primary cause of higher pour point and viscosities of this paraffinic base residue. Okay, so long paraffinic side chains which is attached with the aromatic rings are the primary cause of higher pour point and viscosities of the paraffinic base residue. Now visbreaking is carried out to optimize the breaking of these long side chains, the long paraffinic side chains, and their subsequent cracking to shorter molecules with lower viscosities and pour point. So vis breaking is trying to optimize this pour point and the viscosities by breaking off the long paraffinic side chains. Okay, now the amount of cracking is limited. However, because of the operation is too severe and the resulting product becomes unstable, it forms polymerization products during the storage, which cause filter plugging and sludge formation. Now, as this amount of cracking, this thermal cracking amount of this vis breaking process is limited, so because if the operation is too severe and the resulting product becomes more unstable and forms polymerization products during storage, which cause filter plugging and sludge formation. So the objective of this vis breaking is to reduce the viscosity as much as possible without significantly affecting the fuel stability. So the objective of this vis breaking is to reduce the viscosity as much as possible without significantly affecting the fuel stability. Okay. Now I have discussed earlier that the vis breaking is essentially a mild thermal cracking operation at mild conditions where a long paraffinic side chains molecules in heavy feedstocks are broken into shorter molecules and thereby leading to a viscosity reduction of feedstocks. Now there are two types of vis breaking process. One is the coil and the furnace vis breaking process and the soaker type vis breaking process. Now there all these new vis breaker units, soaker type is mainly utilized nowadays. Now the soaker drum, in the soaker type vis breaking process, the soaker drum utilizes a soaker drum in conjunction with a fire heater to achieve the conversion. Okay, so this soaker type vis breaking process is used nowadays. Now this vis breaking process is a non-catalytic thermal process because there is no catalyst is used in this thermal cracking process, and it reduces the viscosity and the pour point of heavy petroleum which are having the long side paraffinic chains. Okay, so that products can be sold as a fuel oil. So this product gives 80 to 85% yields of fuel oil and balance recovered as light and middle distillates. The unit produces gas, naphtha, heavy naphtha, vis breaker gas oil, vis breaker fuel oil, and a mixture of vis breaker gas oil and vis breaker tar. Okay. Now the vis breaking conversion, in a vis breaker can be achieved by two ways, as I have discussed. One is coil vis breaking and another is soaker vis breaking. In the coil vis breaking, there we require the high temperature and low residence time for cracking. In the coil vis breaker, we require the high temperature and low residence time for cracking, and for the soaking vis breaking we require low temperature and high residence time for cracking. So here we can see there is a long paraffinic side chains which are breaking and by vis breaking process, and we can get these products with having lower viscosity and the improved pour point. Okay, now this is the process conditions of the vis breaking process, which is mild thermal cracking process. Second one is mild heating at which is 470 to 500 degree centigrade, heating at 50 to 200 psig, and improve the viscosity of fuel oil. Low conversion of 10% to 430 degree Fahrenheit. Residence time is 1 to 3 minutes, and heated coil or drum. Okay, This is the overall process condition of the vis breaking process. Now here we can see that there are two types of vis breaking process. First one is the coil type vis breaking process, and second one is the soaker type vis breaking process. So here we can see both are having the vacuum residue as a feedstock. Then we have the preheater, and then the furnace. Through the furnace, the vacuum residue need to reach the temperature up to 485 degrees centigrade, and for the soaker type vis breaker, it needs to reach the temperature 455 degrees centigrade. And for the coil vis breaking process, we have the fractionation unit, where the gases, gas oil and the residues are separated out. But in the soaker type of vis breaker, there is another unit before the fractionation, and after the furnace there is a soaking reactor. There is a soaking reactor which is required to raise the temperature of these feeds up to 4, means after this soaking reactor the temperature is 435 degrees centigrade, and the 10 bar which is then charged to the fractionator. So in this soaking reactor we reduce the temperature. Okay, we reduce the temperature but increase the residence time. Okay, now the principal operations which occur during this vis breaking process, mainly the cracking of side chains attached to cycloparaffin. Okay, the cracking of side chains attached to cycloparaffin and the aromatic rings at or close to the rings, so the chains are either removed or shortened to methyl or ethyl groups. Okay, so cracking of the side chains attached to cycloparaffin aromatic rings at or close to the ring, so the chains are either removed or shortened to methyl or ethyl groups. Now this cracking of resins to light hydrocarbons, primarily it is the olefins, the light hydrocarbons and the compounds which convert to asphaltenes. Okay, and at temperatures above the 480 degrees centigrade, some cracking of naphthenes rings. There is a little cracking of naphthalene rings below 480 degrees centigrade. And now the severity of this vis breaking operation can be expressed in several ways. The yield of material boiling below the 166 degree centigrade, and the reduction in product viscosity, and the amount of standard cutter stock needed to blend the vis breaker tar. Okay, now as there is a two type of vis breaker. One is coil vis breaking, sometimes it is called also the coil and furnace cracking, the coil vis breaking process, coil and furnace cracking, and the second one is the soaker cracking or the soaker vis breaking process. So as in all cracking process, the reactions are time and temperature dependent. Okay, so this coil and vis breaking process both are the time and temperature dependent process, and there is a trade off between temperature and reaction time. There is a trade off between the temperature and the reaction time, and the coil cracker unit uses high furnace outlet temperature. This coil required the high furnace outlet temperature and reaction times from 1 to 3 minutes. Okay, while soaker cracking reaction uses lower furnace temperature, so lower furnace outlet temperature and longer reaction times, in the soaker vis breaking process. Now whatever the product's yield and the properties both are similar, but the soaker operations with its lower furnace outlet temperature has the advantage of lower energy consumptions because it is using the lower temperature. Okay, so it has the advantage of lower energy consumption and lower run times before having to shut down to remove coke from the furnace tubes, and longer run times before having to shut down to remove coke from furnace tubes. So these run times of 3 to 6 months are common for furnace visbreaking or the coil visbreaking process 3 to 6 months run times. Okay, for the coil or the coil and furnace visbreaker unit, and 6 to 18 months for soaker visbreaking process. 6 to 18 months for soaker visbreaking process. So this apparent advantage of the soaker visbreaking is at least partially balanced by the greater difficulty in cleaning the soaking drum. So the apparent advantage of this soaker visbreaker is at least partially balanced by the greater difficulty in cleaning the soaking drum. Now in the coil visbreaking process, where the feed residue uh, feedstock is heated and then mildly cracked in the visbreaker furnace, reaction temperature range from 850 to 900 degree Fahrenheit and the operating pressure vary from as low as 3 bar to as high as 10 bar. So coil furnace visbreaking is used and the visbroken products are immediately quenched to stop the cracking reaction. So coil furnace visbreaking is used and the visbreaking products are immediately quenched to stop the cracking reaction, and this quenching step is essentially to prevent coking in the fractionation tower. So this quenching steps is required to prevent the coking process in the fractionation tower. Okay, now this gas oil and the visbreaker residue are the most commonly used as quenching streams. Gas oil and the visbreaker residue are the most commonly used as the quenching streams. Next is the soaker visbreaking process. Okay, so in this soaker visbreaking process, the furnace operates at lower outlet temperature and a soaking drum is provided at the outlet of the furnace to give adequate residence time. So soaker drum provide less temperature outlet temperature but provide high residence time. Okay, so it gives the adequate residence time to obtain the desired conversion while producing a stable residue product, so thereby increasing the heater run and reducing the frequency of unit shutdown for heater decoking. Okay, now products from soaker drum are quenched and distilled in the downstream fractionators. So here also the soaker drums are quenched, means before it fed to the fractionator to reduce the coke formation. So the objective of the soaker visbreaking process is to lower the viscosity of the heavy residues under relatively mild cracking condition than the conventional cracking process. So here the feed atmospheric residues are converted to gasoline and diesel oil. Feed atmospheric residues are converted to gasoline and diesel oil, and vacuum residue is converted to reduce viscosity. Okay, vacuum residues converted to reduce the viscosity, and the reaction for the soaking visbreaking process, it's splitting or viscosity breaking. As the name is visbreaking, means the viscosity breaking process. So it's splitting the carbon carbon bond. This soaker visbreaking process, the reaction is splitting the carbon carbon bond, oligomerization and cyclization to naphthenes of olefinic compounds, then the condensation of the cyclic molecules to polyaromatics, and the side reactions are means the formation of hydrogen sulfide, thiopenes and mercaptans and phenols. Okay, so these are the side reactions where there is a formation of hydrogen sulfide, thiopenes, mercaptans and phenol. So in this visbreaking process, carbon carbon bond are splitting, and then the oligomerization and cyclization to naphthenes of olefin compounds, and then condensation of the cyclic molecules to aromatics, to polyaromatics. Now what are the products from the soaker visbreaking? The cracked product contains the naphtha gas oil and furnace oil, and the composition of which will depend upon the types of feedstock processed. Okay, now whatever the products are coming out through this soaker visbreaking breaking process, their composition depend upon the type of feedstock which is processed in the soaker visbreaking breaking unit. Okay, now these visbreaking unit products which contains the gas, naphtha, gas oil and the furnace oil, and the typical yield pattern may be gas, which is 1 to 2%, and the naphtha is 2 to 3%, and the gas oil is 5 to 7%, and the furnace oil is 90 to 92%. Here we can see that the furnace oil production is very large, which is 90 to 92%. Now this visbreaking condition, the inlet temperatures is 305 to 325 degree centigrade, where the pressure need to maintain 15 to 40 bar, and the exit temperature is 480 to 500 degree centigrade, and the exit pressure is 2 to 10 bar, and with soaking temperature 444 to 460 degree centigrade, and temperature pressure is 5 to 15 bar, and feed is maintained to a temperature 90 degree centigrade preheated with this VBTAR to 335 degree centigrade. Okay, now this VB means the visbreaking tar. The feed is 90 degree centigrade preheated with this visbreaking tar to 335 degree centigrade. So this visbreaking furnace, in this visbreaking furnace, what will happen? The convection zone. In this furnace there is a convection zone, then there is a top, and from that top it converted to the thermal efficiency. And second is there is a radiation zone. One is the convection zone, one is the radiation zone, and second one is the average heat flow. So in the convection zone, which is in the top of the furnace, in the visbreaking furnace, where it gains the thermal efficiency, and in the radiation zone there is a which is situated in the bottom of that furnace, where the tubes are there in the radiation zone, and the average heat flow in the furnace, visbreaking furnace, is 22 to 30 kilowatt per meter square. And this soaking drum, in that soaking visbreaking process, in the flow diagram we can see that there is a soaking drum in between the fractionator and the furnace. Okay, so it increases the residence time. It increases the residence times of the feedstocks, but lowering the temperature. This soaking drum is used to lengthen the feed residence time so that the furnace can operate at lower temperature. Okay, now soaker results in saving of energy because of the lower temperature with less coke tendency and larger gas oil yield. And the advantage is 15% reduction in fuel oil. Now larger running time between the two decoking operations, coke deposit rate 3 to 4 times slower than in conventional units, better selectivity towards the gas and gasoline productivity. So this is the visbreaking process with a soaking drum. So here we can see the atmospheric residue through the preheater, then the furnace, then we have the soaking drum where the residence time is increased by shortening the temperature or by lowering the temperature. Then there is a fractionator. Before the fractionator, the quenching is required to reduce the coke formation inside this fractionator, and from these fractionators we have the unstabilized gasoline and the visbreaking gas oil. Okay. Now as we have discussed the coil and the soaker visbreaking units, so there is a comparison of coil and the soaker visbreaking process. So in the coil, cracking is described as high temperature short residence time Okay, so coil cracking is described as high temperature, short residence time, whereas soaker cracking is low temperature, long residence time. And the yields achieved by both options are in principle the same, as are also the properties of the products. Okay, both process configuration have their advantages and applications. Coil cracking yields and are slightly more stable Wisbreaker products. Coil cracking yields are slightly more stable Wisbreaker products, which are important for some feedstocks and applications. And it is generally more flexible and allows the production of heavy cuts boiling in the vacuum gas oil range. And the soaker cracking usually requires less capital investments because we are lowering the energy by using the lower temperature in this soaking breaking process. So it requires less capital investments and consumes less fuels and and has longer on stream times. Okay, and has longer on streams times. So these are the products comparison of the Wisbreaking and the delayed cooking so here we can see in the Wisbreaking process there is a mild heating which is 471 to 493 degrees centigrade at 50 to 200 psig, whereas in delayed cooking there is a moderate heating temperature which is 482 to 516 degrees centigrade at 90 psig. So in delayed cooking we can see that there is a increase in temperature. Okay, in the Wisbreaking there is a mild heating near about 471 to 493 degrees centigrade and at 50 to 200 psig, and in the delayed cooking there is a moderate heating which is 482 to 516 degrees centigrade at 90 psig. And Wisbreaking process, it reduces the viscosity of fuel oil. And in the delayed cooking the means the temperature in the drums temperature is 452 to 482 degrees centigrade, and the residence time until they are full of coke. Okay, so delayed cooking, as we are delaying the cooking process, we are providing the more residence time until they are full of coke, and this coke is removed hydraulically and coke yield is 38%. And for the Wisbreaking, low conversion 10% at 221 degrees centigrade and heated with coil or soaking drum process. Okay, so these are the comparison of the Wisbreaking and the delayed cooking process. So here we can see means the Wisbreaking process, there is a two types, coil Wisbreaking and the soaker Wisbreaking process. And many of the properties of the products of the Wisbreaking vary with the conversion and the characteristics of the feedstocks. Okay, many of the properties of the products of the Wisbreaking vary with the conversion and the characteristics of the feedstocks. So some properties such as diesel index, octane number are more closely related to feed qualities. Diesel index, octane number are more closely related to feed qualities, and the others such as density and viscosity of the gas oil are relatively independent of both conversion and feedstock characteristics. Okay, so this is the process by by which we can reduce the viscosity and the pour point of the vacuum tower bottoms. In the Wisbreaking process, the long paraffinic side chains means which is breaking into a smaller hydrocarbon molecules to improve their viscosities and the pour point. So initially in the vacuum residue we have the long paraffinic side chains which is attached to aromatic rings and which are having the high pour point and the viscosities. So Wisbreaking is trying to optimize the breaking of these long side paraffinic chains hydrocarbon molecules and their subsequent cracking to shorter the molecules with lower viscosities and the pour point. Now, as I have been discussed, that this amount of cracking is limited. As this amount of cracking is limited and the operation is too severe, the resulting product becomes more unstable. The resulting products becomes more unstable and forms polymerization products during the storage, which cause filter plugging and sludge formation. So the objective is to reduce the viscosity as much as possible without significantly affecting the fuel stability. So without significantly affecting the fuel stability, we means the viscosity reduce the vis breaking reduce the viscosity as much as possible. So for more feedstocks, this reduces the severity to the production of less than 10% of gasoline and lighter materials. Okay, 10% of gasoline and lighter materials. So the principal operation which occur during the vis breaking operations are cracking of side chains attached to the cycloparaffins and aromatic rings which are close to the rings, so the chains are either removed or shortened to methyl or ethyl groups. Okay, and the cracking of resins to lighter hydrocarbons and compounds which converts to asphaltenes. And at temperature above 480 degrees centigrade, some cracking of naphthalene rings, and there is a little cracking of naphthalene rings below the 480 degrees centigrade. So above the 480 there is a cracking of naphthenes, and there is a little cracking of naphthenes below the 480 degrees centigrade. So the severity of the vis breaking operation can be expressed in several ways. The yield of material boiling below the 166 degree centigrade, and the reduction in product viscosity, and the amount of standard cutter stock needed to blend the vis breaker tar. Okay, so thank you students for this class. So we have in this class we just discussed the vis breaking thermal cracking process. So in the next class we will do the more separation process. We will discuss the more separation process for the petroleum refinery and the petrochemicals. Thank you.